I already beatbox. What else could I do? I'm running out of things to do in front of the episode. I don't know what to do. I've exhausted everything. Well, not everything, but just stuff that I can think of off the top of my head. Welcome to episode number 22 of Casting for Two, with your host Chris. That is me, as always. I will always be Chris, as far as I know. But who knows? One day that could change. Somebody can just take my identity. Who knows? Today we got a good episode for you. I have a stand-up comedian, actress, a dancer, former dancer, cellonist. I'm gonna trademark that, cellonist. I have the one and only Erica Rhodes, very, very lovely girl, very sweet girl. We basically just talked a lot about how she got into acting, her stand-up, which everyone knows I'm a huge fan of stand-up. So anytime I can talk to a stand-up comedian, yeah, I'm gonna do it. So I did it. That's what this episode is about. And of course TV, because what's life without TV? Seriously, I mean, if you don't watch TV, that's just weird. I have friends that don't watch movies, and that's just so weird to me. Right? Is it weird to you? Nah, it's weird to me. Anyway, so that you can follow Erica Rhodes at Twitter at Erica Rhodes. Very easy to remember. And if you're in California, go see her, okay? And go laugh at her jokes. Genuine laughs, okay? But you know what? Let's start this episode. Let's just do this. So, Chris, cue the music, please. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. Just kind of chilling right now. I'd like to talk to you a little bit of, how you got into acting, what really sparked that for you.
Sure, yeah. Are we starting now, or is it?
Yes, we are starting now.
Okay.
It's a very informal show. It just begins when it begins.
Okay, so because sometimes people are like, okay, we're going to talk for a bit and then we'll start the show. I'm like, okay, sorry.
No, I mean we can talk a bit if you'd like. It doesn't matter with me.
Oh no, I mean it's fine. I can. So you were asking me how I started acting or comedy or
which came first?
I think the egg.
The egg? Okay, yeah, that's for sure. You're not a believer in the chicken then.
I don't know. I just think that something had to come first before this animal, and pretty sure it was the egg.
Oh, okay.
So, I don't know. Do you disagree?
No, I do agree with you. It's one of those things. Yeah, I mean, egg makes a lot more sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, but my acting career, I started doing the radio show A Prairie Home Companion when I was like 10.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like an NPR show with Garrison Keillor. And then I got to act with Meryl Streep and Martin Sheen on that. And I've done that show since then. Like every year I do it a few times a year and like a guest on it. Mm-hmm. And I also I started writing for the show last year. So sometimes I write for it. It's kind of like loose. Like he'll ask me to do the show last minute. Like he'll be like, what are you doing this weekend? And suddenly I'm, doing the show. Mm-hmm. So I've learned a lot about comedy, cause he does the show live in front of thousands of people in huge venues like the Hollywood Bowl and Tanglewood out in the Berkshires in Massachusetts. And so I performed for like really big audiences my whole life. And I think I've learned a lot from doing that. Mm-hmm. And then after that, I went on to doing, films, and then I moved to LA and I've just recently been getting into TV and stand up and stuff like that. So that's more on my own, but I got my start really young, performing.
And so you auditioned for it. Do you remember anything about the audition, or was acting something you really wanted to do, or were you just a kid? Hey, let's why don't we just watch Power Rangers for a second? Why do I got to do this? Oh, I just want to chill. I want to play.
Oh, it's funny. My mom's a violinist, and so she, she's definitely, she kind of tried to be a stage mom, sort of, but it didn't really work out because I wanted to be a ballet dancer.
Oh, okay.
So she got me an agent when I was really young because so many people said, oh, she seems to be like an actress. But I really wanted to do ballet. And so I would go to these auditions and my mom would be like, honey, don't you want to wear a little makeup? And I'd be like, no. No way. Like, ew. And so I did audition for stuff when I was really, really young. And, Prairie Home Companion came about in a sort of different way because my mom asked Garrison Keillor to do a fundraiser for her orchestra because she's a violinist, and they're from the same hometown, and so he came to Boston and did that, and then met me, and then immediately liked my voice because it was very high and sounded like I was 10, but it sounded like a 2-year-old or something. And so he had me play his Conscience, where I was like, oh, you should call your mother and things like that. So I didn't audition for that. I just sort of met him and fell into it. But I was going out to auditions as a kid, and I guess I was kind of a child actor, but I was more into ballet. I wanted to do that. So.
Oh, okay. And do you still dance or do ballet, or are those years gone?
No, I quit when I was 16. I was dancing like 6 to 7 days a week and really, really into it. And then, I think I realized I was very competitive as a kid, and I suddenly realized I wasn't going to be like the best dancer in the world. It was like all or nothing, when you're like 15. So I just decided I can't be the best. I'm going to quit. And I just never danced again. I was a little dramatic.
Oh, okay. Well, we're all dramatic in some ways.
Yeah. Well. So that was the end of my ballet career. And then I played cello too. So I wanted to be a cellist for a while. And do a music school for that. But the acting has sort of been like the consistent thing in my life, since I was a kid. So.
Okay, right on. And so when it comes to acting, since you were around, kind of like the theater style, which style do you prefer more, the film side or theater?
I like film and TV. I love, I kind of love it all. I mean, I think it's all kind of the same. I mean, even on a film set, you have, it's like the crew and everyone around. It's sort of like an audience. It's sort of like a live audience. It's like you're always kind of performing for somebody. But I love being on a set. Somehow, I just shot a small role on New Girl this week, and just being around it. Just being on set where all the people are bustling about, and it's just kind of exciting. And I don't know. I just love that feeling. So
right on. How was the working on the New Girl?
It was fun. It was really fun. It was kind of my first network debut. I don't know.
There you go.
I've done so many I've been kind of like a big fish in a lot of small ponds. I've done this web series that got tons of views, and I've done a lot of indie horror films, and I've done the radio show, but I haven't really been a small fish in a big pond, I haven't really jumped into the big, ocean.
The network pond.
Yeah, exactly. I'm now. So now it was a very small part, but it was a big deal for me and my career, so.
Right on.
Yeah.
I was looking over a lot of the work that you've done, and you seem to have a really strong online presence as far as content that's out there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I did this web series for 3 years, before this web series is called Upstairs Girls. And it
Hmm.
was kind of started like before anyone was really on the web series bandwagon. And then
Hmm.
everybody kind of jumped along with it, but it was sort of on the cusp of it,
Hmm.
of cusp of the web, trend. And and it got like 200 million views and everything. And my character was kind of had a following. So I think that is sort of why I became, more into like, that's why I spent a lot of time online. First of all, I was like, okay, well, I have to like help promote the show. And so I definitely got like a lot of fans from that show.
Okay.
But yeah,
And
so.
for some reason, I don't know. One of the first projects I worked on was this small web series, but web series always have a special place in my heart. I always like to see. I mean, I enjoy them. They're fun. They're easier to do than full productions, just because I mean, you can shoot them in a couple, depending on what it is, a couple days, and boom, there you go, and then it's out for the world.
Right. Yeah. It was cool because you get instant feedback too. You
Hmm.
have the fans like talking to you right away.
I hate this.
Yeah.
Stop.
You could write back to them, I hate you too.
Yeah, yeah. Don't watch it then.
Yeah.
The internet.
Get a life.
Opinion. Yeah, but no, that's cool. And then so, when does stand up come into play?
Oh, well, that sort of is very new. I started doing it about 7 or 8 months ago,
Hmm.
and it kind of stemmed from my frustration because I was just auditioning a lot and not really booking anything and feeling frustrated and kind of stuck. And I realized like I really love performing, and I guess that's what they say when you're meant to be like an actor performer. It's like you have to do it. Like it's not
Hmm.
something that you like want to do. It's like you have to do it.
Right.
And so that's what I was feeling. I was like, I can't, like, this is not going to work. Like, I can't just sit around waiting for a job.
Mhm.
So I went and did an open mic, and I don't even know. I didn't have any jokes. I just sort of talked for like 10 minutes about, I don't even know what I talked about.
Uh-huh.
And I like taped it and showed my manager. My manager represents like a lot of big stand-ups. Like he represents Maria Bamford and,
Hmm.
like Doug Benson and all these people. And so he was like, don't ever get up and not have jokes again. He's like, if you want to do this, you have to do it right. And so he started helping me, and like he's helped me ever since, and like really put me on the right path with the stand up. And so yeah, I started doing that. I really like it. Like
Uh-huh.
it kind of like puts together all my interests, because I like writing and I like being creative and I like performing. And so yeah, it's kind of cool.
And in a way, it's a little therapeutic, because you can tell jokes, stories that can be jokish but are kind of serious. But if you tell it in a funny way, it's like you're getting it off your chest.
Oh yeah, and it's also like it makes it, you know, I don't. It makes it more like you're sharing
Hmm.
something with people instead of like, suffering alone.
Right.
You're like bringing people in on it, and so that it's more of like isn't life weird?
Yeah. No, no, that makes total sense, because I mean, acting, it's real. It's part of find when you do characters, it's you have to find this character. The director will only take you so far, so there's a lot of time where you're just spent in your head. So no, it makes total sense.
Yeah, and I'm a very. I mean, some actors, like I think wouldn't want to do stand up because they don't really want to like write their own stuff,
Hmm.
but I really think it's I think I'm a creative person, so like writing is important for me. Like I've always liked writing, but now I feel like I can put it to use, like I'm not just like keeping a journal or something like that. That's sort of self-indulgent. It's more like, oh, like I could actually do this
Hmm.
too.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
totally. And what's your process for writing jokes?
Oh, it's kind of weird. Like I don't even have a process yet because I'm so new to it. But
Hmm.
lately, I've noticed that what I'll try to do is I'll try to like just write lots of ideas, like topics, and
Hmm.
then like I'll try to like free associate. So I'll say like something random that comes to my head. Like we were talking about eggs. I'll be like eggs. Oh, dinosaurs. Oh, like what happened prehistoric times. Like I'll just like kind of like, it's almost like ranting in my head
Uh-huh.
and on paper. And then if something sticks, I'll be like, oh, this could be funny, and then I try to make a joke out of it. Then I like filter all the stuff that I don't like and I find something that I do like. And if I do like it, I send it to my manager and I'm like, what do you think? And he'll either be like, yeah, we can fix this, make it better, or no. So yeah, there's kind of a long process. Like each joke takes a really long time.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Right on.
It's hard writing jokes.
Yeah, especially it's hard when you try to, force it as well.
Yeah.
No, I understand. Yeah. I'm not on your level of joke writing, but I mean, stand up has been I've been very interested in stand up for a couple of years now. And,
have you done it?
I've done one open mic. Yes.
Oh, cool. How did it go?
It went pretty good. It was like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Everyone is tired.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I had 5 minutes and I said, I'm just going to tell some jokes and get in, get out.
Right.
But I didn't get booed. So.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I was very happy. But
you get laughs?
Yes, I did get laughs. I got a couple chuckles and 2 big laughs.
That's great. I mean, that's pretty good for an open mic because open mics, nobody, really laughs.
Right. Yeah. I was surprised too. Because it was my first time doing it. And there were a lot of comedians there that were trying new material. So, it was rough material and nobody was laughing.
Right.
So I was getting a little scared because like, well, they're not going to laugh at me now. What do I do? What do I do? So I just kind of improv'd some of it.
Uh-huh.
Like the first 2 minutes, I was just genuinely talking, and then I got into my act. So,
that's cool.
My joking.
Yeah, that's one of the hardest things I think is like I'm still struggling trying to figure out how to make the joke sound more natural.
Mm-hmm.
Like I still feel a little bit like I'm performing.
Yeah.
Which is hard, and like also need to work on like just being in the moment. Like just like making sure that you address the audience if they're not laughing. Like you're supposed to be like, oh, like I thought that was funny, fine, but like you're supposed to address what's going on, not just like keep going if they're not laughing.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. I don't know. I just have a lot of fun with it. I'm going to try to, continue write jokes and then hopefully do it again sometime soon.
Yeah, you should do it again because I always think the first time's the hardest. Like once you just do it, it's like, oh, I can do that.
Yeah. We'll see. I just gotta find some time right now, but other than that, yeah, I'd love to do it. But I'd like to talk to you about auditioning.
Sure.
I'm very interested in film and getting into it. Not less on the actor side, more behind the scenes. If I can work as a PA, I'd be happy.
Mm-hmm.
But auditioning, I've for some of the few acting roles that I've done, I've auditioned maybe 3 times, and they weren't that bad. I could have done better in some of them, but what is kind of the process you do to get ready for an audition?
It always depends like what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess the main thing I do, I always read the script. If I get the whole script, I'll read the whole script. And then I try to get memorized. Like for me, it helps to like be as memorized as I possibly can be.
Mm-hmm.
But I think sometimes like if I try to be word perfect, it's like I get too much in my head and I'm not like just focusing on the character. But I do, for me, I need to like be almost off book at least to really feel free with the material. So I try to do that. I have sort of an analysis thing I learned in school that I sometimes do and I sometimes don't do. Like I studied at the David Mamet School in New York, and it's a very meticulous way of breaking down a scene. And sometimes I find it helpful, and sometimes I'm like, what? I can't do that right now.
This character wouldn't do this, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah, it's just it's very complex. It's like you break down the scene, you say what the character's literally doing, what they want, what the other characters are doing, what the action is, some as if from your life. It's like, I'm just going to say the lines.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so yeah, I mean, it's different with every character, but it's also different. Like I auditioned for a lot of sitcoms and, that's a lot different style than like film. Like film acting, I try to I have to bring it way down because my tendency is to be kind of big. And sitcoms are more like I try to find the jokes that aren't obvious. Like if there's something in between the writing or something where I can get a laugh, I try to just find ways to get laughs if it's a sitcom. Because that's kind of the point.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it just depends what it is.
Do you have a bad audition story? You don't have to give any names or anything like that.
Oh gosh, one? I've got like tons.
Okay, well, what's the top one?
Okay, like the most recent one I would say was this. I don't remember what it was. It was a film. It was like a horror film, and it was this girl who was like getting back at some guy for like raping her or whatever. It was like a very, very intense scene. And I mostly audition for comedy. Like comedy is really it's really my thing.
Yeah.
And so doing a dramatic role is exciting for me. Like I like it, but it's also kind of like scary. So I really prepared. It was only 2 short scenes, like not a lot of dialogue, but she has a gun to his head and she's like, "You motherfucker." Like swearing at him, like tough. And then the next, the next line is something like, so she's like, she has the gun to his head and she's like, "You motherfucker," blah, blah, blah. And then she's supposed to say like, "Get in the car," something like that. And I just completely blanked. Standing there like completely frozen. And I was just like, I blanked. Out loud. It was so embarrassing because it was like in the middle of like this really intense scene, and I was like, and I just lost that. A laugh, at a certain point, you've just kind of done it all, you're just like, okay, that wasn't meant to be, whatever.
Right, yeah, no, definitely. One of the auditions I went in for, I don't know why, but they wanted me to audition for a drug dealer, and I don't know if you see my photo, but I am like the 100% opposite look of a drug dealer. I've never done drugs. I can't be tough. That's what I'm saying. I'm a teddy bear, so I just
like a drug dealer type.
Yeah, exactly. I can't be a drug mafioso. I don't know. So I went in there. I'm a drug dealer. I did that, but
you're high like that.
I'm a drug dealer. Yes, this was a couple. I think I was like 18 at the time too. So yeah, it was pretty bad. And they go, "Oh, that was okay. Why don't you try being a little bit more dark?"
Yeah.
So all I did was I kind of deepened my voice, and then I slammed the clipboard on the ground, which I thought was cool because I actually got a reaction out of the cameraman.
That's good.
So I was like, all right, I may have not, I'm not gonna get this part, but at least I made him flinch.
Right.
And then yeah, so but yeah, never again. I just can't play tough.
Right. I mean, that's half the battle is like knowing what your type is, but also it might be interesting to play it not how anyone's playing it. You know what I mean? Like not play it tough. Like a drug dealer who's like the opposite because everyone else is going to come in playing it tough and you go the opposite way and be really interesting.
Yeah, it's all about options,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's what life's all about.
I've been watching, Breaking Bad. I'm a little late to the party, but they have very interesting casting choices, especially like the supporting cast and everything. It's like characters that you would definitely, like if you just read it on paper, you'd be like, really? That person's playing that part,
Yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah, really interesting the casting choices for that show.
Well, yeah, a majority of the cast, they come from comedic backgrounds. And yet they're like knocking all this drama out of the park.
Oh yeah.
But what other shows do you watch, or when you have your spare time?
Well, I was kind of my manager was funny. He was like all comedic actors, you watch all hour-long dramas. It's like you always kind of like want to watch the opposite, you know?
Right.
I got really into Homeland, but then I just saw the first episode of the new season, and I was kind of like,
I'm good.
not as into it anymore.
Yeah.
I do like 30 Rock. I like the show. I've actually just been really binging on Breaking Bad. It's kind of embarrassing. Just been like going nonstop with it.
No. I think if you were to, you know, it's one of those shows where you can be like, yeah, I'm binging on Breaking Bad, and nobody will say anything.
That's true.
They'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, you got to watch this part, and
right.
They'll tell you what to watch for.
That's true. Yeah. It's really good.
No, yeah, definitely, and especially that finale. I don't want to. I'm being one of those people. I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, because I'm only on season 4.
Okay, I won't say anything.
Yeah. How many seasons are there again? 6?
I think there's 6.
Okay, so they only have up to 5 on Netflix. So I don't know what I'm going to do when I get through that.
That's going to be a toughie.
Yeah. I'll have to I'll have to borrow it from somebody or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, tangent. Yeah. So, I like that. I liked the show Louie for comedy. I like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. What other shows? What do you like?
I've been really getting. I'm a binge watcher myself. Just because I like to. I hate waiting week to week, so I'd rather just boom get it all done in one chunk.
Right.
For comedies, I've really been enjoying Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
It's a funny show. You know, it's kind of like the first season of Community, where it starts off, you know, a bit slow. They're trying to figure out the characters, and then it just takes off.
Okay.
So it's every episode is progressively getting funnier and funnier. So and it has a good cast behind it too. But I actually watch a lot of Castle.
Oh, I haven't seen either of these shows, to be honest.
Really, Castle, just because I'm a huge Nathan Fillion fan.
Oh, okay.
And,
good.
And he's just great. So I find myself just watching reruns of that show. Just because I don't know. It's one of those procedural shows where you don't really need to know the story. You just jump in.
And what's the premise of Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine is about cops in Brooklyn, and they have a new sergeant that comes in to, you know, rattle everybody and make them do professional things. And Andy Samberg is in it, and he's the crazy slacker cop, but he's good at his job. Okay. You know that old story.
Yeah.
But no, it's in Andy Samberg, Terry Crews is in it. Joe Latrulio, just a pretty good cast.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, and then other than that, I do watch Breaking Bad and Mad Men.
Oh yeah, Mad Men. That's what I'm forgetting.
Yeah.
My God, I was obsessed. I'm obsessed with Mad Men. I love it. I love that show.
That is one of the shows I have to binge watch. The latest season just came out on Blu-ray a couple weeks ago, so I'm gonna go pick that up and just lock myself in my room for a while.
Yeah, no, that's an awesome show. I really like that show.
And I was talking to my friend about it. That show is so crazy, the things that it does, but yet it makes it believable. Like the first season where they run over some guy's foot with a lawnmower.
Oh yeah.
It's like, is this a comedy? No, it's a drama. It's such a crazy show. Yeah, the secretary was pregnant the entire season. She didn't know about it. What?
That's true.
So it could totally play out like a comedy, but it's not. So
yeah, sometimes it's like a dark comedy. I mean, there are even comedic moments in Breaking Bad, you know, where you're like, what?
No, definitely. But did you have anything you wanted to chat about?
I guess the New Girl episode will air sometime in the beginning of December. So
There you go. So everyone will have to camp out for it, even though it's on the TV.
yes.
So start camping out now, and not for Black Friday.
Just keep your TV on from now until December 30th.
There you go. Don't turn it off. But Erica, I mean, that's all I really had lined up. It was a pleasure chatting with you.
You too. Thanks for having me on.
I definitely have to have you back on whenever you want. So
Okay.
whenever you feel like it. When you finish Breaking Bad, come back on. Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so you take care and have a happy Thanksgiving.
Okay. You too, Chris.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey guys, just a quick reminder, you can always catch up with these episodes on castingfor2.com. You can also follow me at Twitter @castingfor2 or send me an email at castingfor2@gmail.com.